Well, hi everyone. It's Barbara or Doll, and I'm just gonna go like this. Hi. Instead of a rocking chair knit and chat today, I'm going to do a spinning and chat and continue on with day 4 of Tour de Fleece. I have this much I want to finish today, which isn't a whole lot, I suppose. But off I go. My poor old wheel is looking pretty ragged, but you know what? It does the job. So what I have is I'm filling up this bobbin. I have another bobbin with the other half of this fiber on it. And I will ply the two together to make a 2-ply yarn. This is merino nylon blend. So it was I purchased it a number of years ago from Paradise Fibers in the US. I'm in Canada, and I meant for sock yarn because you know me, I love knitting socks. So how's the Tour de Fleece going for you, and are you participating? So far I've been able to do a very tiny bit on a spindle every day, which is the one thing I love to do. And I finished up filling the first half of that bobbin, or the last half of that bobbin, the first half of this fiber, and I'm almost done with this, and then I'll apply it. Having so much fun as I am on holidays, which is kind of nice, but works in progress. I am working on my Christmas in July socks. I've turned the heel. I'm doing the gusset now. So I anticipate finishing these socks this week, or at least on the weekend. And I'll just continue. I've got my bag full of fiber that I'm spinning for the Tour de Fleece. And here I go. So if those of you who have babe wheels or PVC plastic wheels, how do you keep them clean? And when you clean them, what do you use? Inquiring minds want to know. I'd like to clean this up a bit, but I'm not too sure what to use on it that would be effective in making it nice and almost making it new again. I guess I could paint it if I got it cleaned up. And then what color? I'm thinking red. I think my wheel should be red. Red is the color of abundance. So, and I'm all about abundance right now. And my husband's trying to get into his chair without making any noise, and it's all squeaky. There. Are you in? Yeah. It's an old wooden rocking chair that my daughter and her friend thrifted and gave us. And it's been a wonderful chair for him, but from time to time it really, really squeaks. And from time to time my wheel really squeaks. So I'm happy right now that you almost can't hear it. Every once in a while there's a bit of a sound, but mostly you cannot hear this wheel. And then when it squeaks, it makes a horrible sound. So yeah, ideas on how to care for a plastic wheel like this one. I know that caring for a wooden wheel is completely different. And I had borrowed one years ago when I first started with a wheel, but then had to return that. So one of my goals in life, long-term goal, is to have a wooden wheel for myself. But, you know, I don't like spending money. I don't know if any of you are like that. And while this wheel works, and unless there's something horrible that goes wrong, I had to replace the plastic piece under the treadle. I did that last year. And I've replaced the plastic drive band a couple of times, but those are normal things that would wear out generally. And where the treadle is connected to the metal piece that actually turns the wheel, my husband has MacGyvered a couple of different things to make that work, because yeah, But as long as we can keep repairing it, there's no real reason for me to purchase another wheel, much as I'd like to. So the other thing that's different about this video today is that I'm not rocking, because I can't rock and spin at the same time. I can do a lot of things. I can talk and spin. I could chew gum and spin if I was a gum chewer, which I'm not. I can watch TV. Not so much reading. And I don't really watch TV so much as listen to it. And I've been listening to or watching podcasts and great YouTube videos. All of you who are posting on Tour de Fleece, it's so exciting to see what you're all up to. So keep posting, and know that there are some of us out there that watch and anticipate and look forward to the next video kind of thing. It's, for me, it's as exciting, if not more so, than Vlogmas at Christmas time. I really do look forward to these videos. Watching what you're all creating and what you're doing in the spinning world, right? If you're wondering, I don't have specific plans for this sock yarn. Basically, it's the same colors and dye colors that I used for the commercial sock blank that I had. So do I want another pair in the same color? Maybe. So this goes, from my mind, it goes from strawberry to watermelon, and I'm not too sure what color I'm going to call it. But the first pair of socks I did was in the colorway I did call watermelon, and I have one more skein that I'm going to call early strawberry because it doesn't have a lot of the colors in it. I used it to kind of soak up some of the last of the color that I had, which is always fun. And it was a merino nylon blend as well. The one thing that I have thought about doing for the tour this year is I have some fiber that I haven't carded yet. And I might do that. It's from some Ontario sheep from one of the farms. And I've used a little bit of it. I haven't used very much. But it's sitting there waiting to be carded. So maybe I can do that, kind of break the cycle of spinning every day. But I will still spin every day. I mean, that's just, that goes without saying, right? And I started this. I should just break it and see if I can show you. Because I've been working, you know, on this long braid. So when I finished last night and the day before, I just took it like that, put a little half hitch, and that told me which end to pick up. And that seems to work for me, so that I'm working in the same direction the whole time. And right now I'm trying to smooth out these colors. There's a little bit of pink in here, red, that I want in here, because this is going to make a really long white strand. But then when I go to apply it with the other bobbin, it may not be as noticeable. I don't know. What are your thoughts? And it looks like I need to move this. I don't have a woolly winder, so that means I have to move it along as I go, which is fine. This is what I've done all along. Whoops, twisted. There. So there. And for those of you who do spin, you'll know I'm doing a somewhat worsted, semi-worsted spin in that I do a short draw. I've done long draw before, but I prefer the short draw. I want a little bit more twist in it, especially if I'm using it for socks. I don't necessarily want something really lofty, if that makes any sense. So here we are. And off it goes. It's filling up the bobbin really nicely, I think. And for a while there, I'd be spinning along and the dry bend would pop off. So now that I've said that, and it hasn't today, and it didn't yesterday or the day before, it might start again, but it's been behaving really well. So no complaints, no concerns. And I have thought about doing these bobbins in a chain ply to keep the color separation, but I've decided against that. I want the 2-ply yarn. And then I'll decide what kind of socks to make and how that'll come together. It's a beautiful fiber to spin. I mean, there's very few imperfections, neps, or anything like that. So I'm getting a really nice, consistent yarn out of it. There we go. It's gonna get quite warm today. We're sitting at about 21, 22 Celsius here in the basement. Going up to 29, maybe even 30 outside. Thunderstorms coming in. It's July and it's summer, so some of that you can almost expect to happen, right? Yeah. So I kind of inchworm along, smooth it out as I go. I use the opposite hands to what I've seen people in videos do, although now that I watch what I have on screen, maybe I don't. Maybe it's the opposite view of the camera that makes it look like I'm using the opposite hands, but I don't really know. Because sometimes I do things a little bit backwards to what others do. There's just something so very relaxing about the spinning wheel. I think, anyway. It's very meditative for me. I will often work on a sermon in my head while I'm spinning, go over scriptures in my head while I'm spinning. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a local pastor. But I am on holidays, so that's not the case today. I am going over probably my shopping list in my head. I have one more grocery list to shop for. And there's not much on that list, but still, you know, it's kind of fun. I've got a pretty full fridge and my freezer's starting to fill up again, so that always feels better after the end of the month. And I try to pull everything out of the freezer at the end of the month and see what I can concoct, if you will. So I'm getting a nice color blend in here now so that there won't be quite so much of that just plain white coming through, which is not what I wanted at all. One of the things I have done in the past is spin in white and then dye it. But spinning plain white gets boring, don't you think? That's just my opinion. I don't really know. I don't really know. So last night for supper, we went to the store and I was looking for a pork roast, which I didn't find at a reasonable price. But they did have whole chickens for $10. So I got a chicken and roasted it up. So we had cold chicken with our salad today for lunch. And I'm still on the hunt for pork. I want a good pork roast. And that'll give me meals for the rest of the week, along with the rest of this chicken. I froze the rest of the carcass to make broth and soup. Because, you know, nothing goes to waste. But I didn't want to make broth right away. So I'll probably wait till I have a second carcass and do the two together. It really doesn't say much, does it? Anyway, here I am spinning away. Spin, spin, spin. Just keep spinning. I mean, that's what kind of comes into my mind. Dory and Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming. Well, just keep spinning. Anyway, I think that's all I'll share with you. It gets a little dull watching me spin like this. But I hope your Tour de Fleece is going well if you're doing that. And if not, whatever crafting that you're doing, here, I'm going to try to do that. There we go. Whatever crafting that you're trying to do is working out for you and that you have a great and wonderful day this summer. And we'll see you next time with Doll's Knit Chat Spin Chat video. Take care. God bless.